And I didn't remember when Joe Biden used to always go, I need legislation. I had no legislation. I just said, we're closing the borders. And the whole world understood it because they respect your country again. They really respect this country again.
For 3 consecutive months, something unprecedented happened at America's southern border. Zero illegal crossings. Not dozens, not hundreds, absolutely zero. While critics claimed it was impossible, President Trump delivered results that even liberal monitoring groups couldn't deny. This is the story of how decisive leadership transformed America's most challenging crisis into a stunning success.
And at the border, we had 0 people come in, and this is done by a liberal group. They're the people that do it. I have nothing to do with it. 0 people in 3 months. We had 0, 0, and 0 for 3 months. And last year we had millions of people pouring in from all countries, from jails, from drug addicts, gang members, drug dealers by the thousands and thousands. 11,888 murderers, half of whom committed more than one murder. They flowed into our country, and for the last 3 months we had none. And I didn't remember when Joe Biden used to always go, I need legislation. I had no legislation. I just said, we're closing the borders. And the whole world understood it because they respect your country again. They really respect this country again.
Let's examine the hard data. According to the latest CBP statistics released in January 2025, U.S. Border Patrol apprehensions along the southwest border dropped 85% from January 21st through January 31st compared to the same period in 2024. But this is just the beginning of the story. Under the previous administration, America witnessed an unprecedented immigration crisis. Millions poured across our borders from countries worldwide, many directly from prisons, with criminal backgrounds, drug addiction issues, and gang affiliations. The numbers were staggering. Over 180,000 illegal crossings in July 2022 alone, with monthly averages exceeding 5,110 daily encounters. Among those who entered during this period were 11,888 convicted murderers, individuals with blood on their hands, half of whom had committed multiple homicides. These weren't just statistics on paper. These were dangerous criminals walking freely in American communities while immigration enforcement remained virtually non-existent. President Trump's strategy was fundamentally different. No complex legislation, no lengthy negotiations with Congress, just clear, decisive action. We're closing the borders, he declared, and the entire world understood the message immediately. This wasn't political posturing, it was leadership backed by concrete policies. The administration terminated the CBP One app that had essentially created a reservation system for illegal entry. Categorical parole programs that had allowed mass releases were eliminated, returning to case-by-case reviews based on legal criteria. Most importantly, the catch-and-release policies that had defined the previous administration were completely reversed. CBP data shows that after January 20th, 2025, the number of inadmissible aliens encountered at southwest border ports of entry dropped 93% in just 11 days. This wasn't gradual improvement. This was immediate, measurable impact. The results speak for themselves. July 2025 recorded just 4,598 illegal immigrant arrests by Border Patrol, a 24% drop from the previous record low set in June. To put this in perspective, that monthly total is nearly 500 fewer than the average number of daily illegal crossings under the Biden administration. Border security expert Bill Malugin called these numbers unheard of for the nearly 2,000-mile-long southern border. The statistics are even more striking when compared historically: a 97% decrease from July 2022, 96% decrease from July 2023, and 92% decrease from July 2024. Meanwhile, enforcement operations intensified dramatically. Nearly 150,000 illegal immigrants have been arrested since President Trump took office, including nearly 50,000 arrests over 8 weeks, twice as many as the same period under the previous administration. Perhaps most significantly, these policies restored America's standing on the international stage. Countries that had previously ignored U.S. immigration law began cooperating with deportation efforts. Mexico dramatically increased enforcement at their own borders, contributing to a 53% decrease in irregular arrivals. Former immigration judge Andrew Arthur noted, "The president is doing what he said he was going to do. The president's doing what an overwhelming majority of the people want him to do, which is taking criminal aliens off of the streets." This represents more than policy success. It demonstrates how strong leadership creates ripple effects globally. When America projects strength and resolve, other nations respond accordingly. Critics claimed such dramatic reductions were impossible without massive legislative overhauls. They argued that comprehensive immigration reform required years of bipartisan negotiation. President Trump proved them wrong through executive action and clear messaging. The data comes from CBP itself, not partisan political sources. Liberal monitoring groups that had criticized previous border policies were forced to acknowledge these unprecedented improvements. When even your political opponent's data confirms your success, the results speak louder than any rhetoric. These border security achievements represent something larger than immigration policy. They demonstrate how strong leadership can solve problems that establishment politicians claimed were unsolvable. While previous administrations spent years debating comprehensive reforms, President Trump implemented practical solutions that produced immediate results. The economic implications are equally significant. Reduced illegal immigration means less strain on social services, healthcare systems, and educational resources. Border communities report increased safety and security. Law enforcement can focus on protecting American citizens rather than managing an endless stream of illegal entries. 3 months of zero border crossings, an 85% reduction in illegal entries, nearly 150,000 criminal aliens arrested and processed for removal. These aren't campaign promises. These are documented achievements that transformed America's border from chaos to control. When leadership meets decisive action, even the most challenging problems become solvable. President Trump proved that securing America's borders doesn't require decades of debate. It requires the political will to enforce existing laws and send a clear message to the world. The results speak for themselves. America's border is secure, our communities are safer, and our sovereignty is restored.